Okay, so what I'm going to do a few things, but we're looking at creating the interactivity of the publication. So things like the putting video in there will create interactivity. The buttons, which navigate to particular pages or particular articles, and next page is the interactivity. But now we're actually going to get into the quite interesting phase. And so what I'm going to do are a couple of things. So not just yet. What we'll look at is creating an animated masthead. Okay, and so for that, I'll actually create a masthead in After Effects, much like you did with the web banner, and create it as an animation. And we're ultimately going to have that exported as a GIF file. So I'll demonstrate that. Okay. But first, what we'll look at is creating a slideshow. Okay. And so what I've got here, and I'm starting to use my layers a bit and creating layers and naming them. But what I have is an image. Now, I've created a frame and pasted into that frame. Okay, I've just created one of those. So let's just quickly do it roughly. Where are we? Okay, so this is what I have. Now, when you're getting into interactive design and even things like web design, you've just got to make things as straightforward as possible. And so what I've got here are a sequence of images, and quite simply I've named them crowd 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I don't have to think about the order of them. So don't have unique names and this sort of thing. Just make it straightforward. Then you could give it to some people to work on, and everything's just very, very logical. Okay, so I've got some images, and what I also have are some captions that I'm going to paste. So what I've been doing here, or actually I'll just quickly show you what I mean by paste into. If I create a frame, okay, which is specifically the size I want. So in this case, it's been this size. I then just go, well, I can actually drag and drop it. Okay, so I've actually put that image into this frame. Okay, and so just a way that we can do things quickly. So just get rid of that. Now, because it is all set up to size, what I've done is I've actually duplicated that image. Okay, and I've duplicated it 6 more times so that I have 7 of them. Okay, and so what I've done is I've got 1, let's just hide that, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's the first one. And what I'll do is I'll just come into my links. Okay, here it is here. And quite simply, I'll relink to number 5, updated. Okay, that's in place. I'll just pull that out there. Here's number 6. Oops. Sorry. Here's number 6. Where are you? There it is here. I'll just relink it in the links. Next one. Where are you? And next one. Okay. So just a very quick way that everything is exactly the same frame, same place here. Okay. I'll also do the same with my caption. Okay. So here it is here. I'll duplicate that 6 times so that I have 7 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more. 7. Okay. So this way, it's going to be the same type, the same settings, and this. So there's one. I'll actually put that underneath number 1. Here we are for number 2. I'll come over to my caption. Okay, I won't worry about this because it's italicized, so I'll just grab this, copy, get my type tool, paste. Okay. So I'll have that in place. Okay. So put that underneath number 2. Okay, let's come in here. The T is the type tool. Number 3. Oh, this one's Paddington RSL, so I'll just grab that. Okay, so that can be italicized. Okay, and I can come in here and just format it a bit more. Okay, so a little bit of dress up. So what I'm doing is I'm actually just keeping that consistency. So there's number 3. This will be number 4. 1, 2, 3, it's 4. So you get into a rhythm. And again, it's all about, if you can just be copying and pasting and relinking duplicate things, it just means that you're just being very methodical, just being like a machine, all right? You're not having to think. It's good to do it without distraction. And if you do have something to do, or someone's talking, you say, let me just finish this bit before I go on to the next bit, okay? It's so easy to lose track talking to you while I'm doing this and get confused. So it is one of those things, all right? So that one goes under number 4. This will be number 5. Okay. Number 6. It's interesting with these images because I took these photos in 1988 and I had them for years. And I made photographs. I developed the photos when I was at art school. So 20 years later, Facebook pages and things, and suddenly people go, oh, they hadn't seen such and such, and the way life had moved on, and so is no longer here, and all this. So it became like a social document. At the time there were all sorts of stories going on, but yeah, it's interesting the idea of photos as documents. I think I'll probably, oh, that is number 7. There we go, that goes there. Okay, so now this is really important, okay? For this to work, 1 and 1, check it, group together, okay? Here, group. Another interesting thing about these photos, what do you notice that's missing? No mobile phones. Did not exist. People were in the moment. It's there's this lovely French term called ennui. You know about ennui? Just a feeling of listlessness, boredom. You can't have ennui if you're looking and scrolling and tending. Group. There we go. Okay, so that's the hard part. All right. So now I have all of these groups in place, and you can see that all the type lines up. It's not going to wobble around. The thing with interactivity is you don't want things to shift and shape between your navigation, and that's navigating between your pages as well. So that's why we're using a parent page for the things. Everything is exactly the same place. Now I've just created a triangle from the polygon frame tool with a 3-sided one, and I've just made it a shape, and I've just called it crowd navigation back and crowd navigation forward. Okay. What I'll also do is I'll show you how to create them as what are called breadcrumbs. Okay, and so what I'll do here, I've got to find a place for it, but let's just say I've got this shape. Let's just fill it black and object, check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so there's 7. They're going to be buttons. What I'll do is let's say I'll line these up, grab all of them, window, objects and layout align, distribute my spacing so they're all nice and even. Okay, let's just say that I'm doing that. Okay, so these will be buttons too. And we'll see, I might do something else with the buttons, but first of all, let's just get them going. Okay, so let's just use the layers panel. Oops. And I'm just selecting, actually an easy way of doing it is I've got this, which is in my background layer. I'll just lock it. And so now I'll just select all of those shapes by throwing a lasso around them. Okay. So to make a slideshow, we're actually using what are called object states. Okay. So you watch what happens. So here's my object states panel. New state. Are you watching? So here they are. And look what happens. See how all the images and type changes? So these are the names of the states, 1 to 7. I can name them if I wanted to, but again, just keep it simple. I'll call this, so I'll just call this the crowd picks, just as long as a unique name. Okay? Don't leave things blank. So that's why I've been naming my buttons as well. Just so when I look at them in layers, I know what they are. Okay. So here's my crowd picks. So they're done. As you can see, they all change. And so now I'll make the navigation. Okay. So window, buttons and forms. Okay. What's going on? Ah, sorry. What am I doing? These are the buttons. Okay, this is, I was using, this is a, no wonder it wasn't working. Can't make this into a button. So this is a button. Okay, I can actually just copying that. So I'll just name it underscore BTN. Okay, not the most important thing, but good to name things. Copy, I'll just copy that. Here's it, what it's going to do. It's going to go to a state. Or no, this is actually going to a previous state. Okay? And I can say stop at first pick. I could have it so it goes into an endless loop. Okay, I'll give it a rollover. So here with this rollover, I'll just make it turn black. Okay, that's done. This one here. So this is why I copied the name of the button. I don't have to button, paste. This will be forward. Go to next state. Okay, roll over, done. Go back to the normal state. Okay, so if I want to actually have a look at that, here's my EPUB preview, window, interactive EPUB preview. Just hit the little play button. Why is that not doing it? Come back. Go to next state. Stop at the last state. Crowd picks. Okay, I think that was the one. So I've done this demo before. Let's just see if that one does. And this goes to crowd picks. Again, unique name. Okay. Let's just save that. Go to our EPUB preview. Let's play it again. There we go. Okay. So that's a slideshow. Now, what I'll do, again, is breadcrumbs. So I'll use the same images. But the thing with breadcrumbs is it's a little bit different to forward and back, because forward and back, we don't know how many images there are. With this, we do know that there's, hang on, shouldn't be 8 images, 8 buttons, there need to be 7. Objects and layout, align, distribute space. Okay, there we go. So these will be buttons now. So this will be a button. I won't worry about naming this one, but I could call it state 1 button. It will go to a state. Okay. And the state in the crowd picks is state 1. Okay. That's all good. Now I'll give it a rollover. But what I'll do is I'll make the normal just a stroke. Okay, so that changes. Okay. Come into this one. Button. Go to state. State 2, rollover, and normal. Okay, so I could do that, or what I might do is in here, I think I actually have a red eye logo. Where are you? Here we are. This one here. Okay, so this is a PNG file. All right. What I'll do is I'll just bring this in there. I'll set it up so that it is the same size. Actually, what I could do, let's just undo that. I'll bring it in again. All right, so that's there, okay? I'll just duplicate that. Okay, option drag, so there is 2. And what I'll do is I'll put this inside this. So I will cut that, edit, paste into. Object, fitting, fit content proportionally. Okay. Select them both, Shift. Okay. I'll now select this as the key object. Okay. Align, align. Okay. So now I have two shapes. I'm going to make this the rollover state. Okay. So I'll select them both, group them. That's important. Okay. Now this becomes the button. It'll go to a state. I think we're at state 3. And give it a rollover. Okay. Now just watch this. Here it is here. I'll come back to the normal state. I've selected it. 0% opacity. So there's my rollover. Okay. So what we have, and I could actually make this. Okay, there we go. So you can have, if I wanted a button that I wanted to splat or to do something, I can't animate it. It's just on, off. It's there or not. Okay, and it's just opacity. Okay. So I won't worry about doing that for a lot of them, but let's just come up here. So this is number 4, button, go to state, crowd picks, state 4, rollover, back. Just make sure you go back to the normal state. Button, go to state, state 5, rollover. Oop. Back. All right, so it's methodical, what we're doing. All right. So just as I said, word of advice, don't get distracted. Or if you do have to do something, just get that done and we're sorted. Okay, so let's just have a look at that. So down the bottom of all these interactive windows, there's actually a little button down the bottom left corner, which is the EPUB preview there. So I'll just play that again. Okay, and so now we've got non-linear navigation rather than forward back. Okay, so that just gives you a little bit more flexibility. Okay, so I've chosen the wrong image there. Crowd picks, state 7. Again, it's why it's good to know what you've got. Save that, just play it again. There we go. Okay, so it all just updates very quickly. And so depending upon how you want your navigation to go, and just remember the navigation is as important a part of the page composition as the content itself. And so the navigation needs to work with the content, but also it needs to look separate to it. So people can understand that, well, that's navigation, this is content, all right? And so it might be just the way you design things or place things, be consistent, because people don't go looking for buttons if they don't think there's any buttons there. So you've got to make things a little obvious. You want them to be in the design personality of your publication. So think about colors, think about the types of shapes. Anything can be a button. You saw me use a PNG file, a photo, or actually it was an illustration, wasn't it? File. So that anything can be a button that we are using there. Okay, so we'll stop that there. But in terms of looking at how your slideshows will work, then just put it into the page, okay? All good? All right.